welcome to hashtag Wacko Wednesday. My name is Autumn, and this is my husband, Richard. We go live here on our YouTube channel, Watch Autumn Keto, every Wednesday evening at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, so subscribe to us over here. Or, also on our other channel, Watch Autumn Keto. On our other channel, the Weathers channel, where we go live whenever we want to. But, this is a special hashtag Wacko Wednesday.
And why is that?
Because the first Whack Wednesday of every month, happy March, if you didn't know, right? We have Coach Bronson on, and he's going to talk to us about a variety of health and fitness topics, right? So, Coach Bronson will be coming on in just a second. So, let's get to some welcome comments. Mom's here, says first.
All of the above.
Hi, Christina. How are you tonight? Dee's here, says second on this fine Work Wednesday evening to the Weathers, Work Familiar, and Coach Bronson. Absolutely. Maitreya is here, says hello. Fantastic to see people this evening. It's fantastic to see you.
Yay.
Jervin West said good. Wow, Wednesday.
Oh my God.
I love saying it like that.
I know.
Brianna said, good evening, fam. Hope everyone had a nice day. Gigi's here, says, good evening, Mr. and Mrs. How was your day? It was great. I had an excellent day.
I was going to say very productive.
Yes, no one has said what day it is yet, so I will wait for the comments.
The Wacko Wednesday?
No, there's still another one that I haven't done yet. So, yes, but
I don't know.
So today was a work day. I was at the office, and it was just going great. I'm taking more and more online trainings and just, living my employed life, right? And absolutely loving it. So I'm glad to be here on this Whack Wednesday and glad to have Coach Bronson. And there he is. He knew what day it is.
Yes.
Happy hump day. That's what it is. But we are over the hump. We are on our way down. Tomorrow is weekend eve, Friday Eve, right? I'm not one of those people that that was just like counting down to Friday. Like it's Friday Eve, Eve, Friday light. Like, no, just let Friday be what it is, because Friday is like the weekend Eve, I guess.
I'm a big believer in letting everything be what it is.
Yes. Brianna said, where's Brian? He's the camel guy. I know, right? I did not Google image the second breed of camel that he mentioned. Gigi said that's usually in the morning that we say happy hump day. But were we here this morning, Gigi? Did we get to talk? Unfortunately, no, we did not.
Oh my God.
So I gotta get it in where I can fit it in. Hashtag that's what
Gigi,
she said.
She is really feeling herself right now.
Okay, also what she said. Okay, but enough of that riffraff. Let's bring on Coach Bronson because we're doing a fitness Q&A now. Yeah, get your Q's together because we're doing some A-ing, right? And so it's just general fitness topics that I am excited because I got some Q's myself, right? So I'm excited to get it on. Okay, yes. So everyone, without further ado,
here comes the key.
Is Coach Bronson. Pew, pew, pew.
Further ado?
Well, further ado, but you can't say do. You can't say do once without saying it twice.
Oh,
that's how I feel. So, how are you, Bronson?
I'm good.
Man, looking great in that Team Protein shirt. Move your cup, bro. There you go. And so don't forget the link to that. I was so good. The link to that is in the description of this video, as well as the link to your beginner and intermediate program. So always you can tell us more and more about that. But welcome tonight. And I feel like your facial hair situation's been happening for a while, but not like a long while, right?
No,
like it hasn't been like that for a long while.
No, I'm still working on it.
Okay, no, I like it.
If you can see it, it's kind of like all over the place.
Well, I'll tell you, on camera, it looks good. So that's
I appreciate it.
Very wise.
Yes.
Still working on it. I got tired of people saying I look like I was 25 still. So I got to get the gray hairs out here and something. You know what I mean? Like
that's an okay problem to have.
Age a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I love that because honestly, age ain't nothing but number. Age is just a state of mind,
Yeah.
And when you make a commitment to being fit, and your fitness is your freedom and your freedom is your choice. It don't matter what age you are because you still have like the mobility and the function that you need. And that's all that matters.
So true.
Absolutely. I'm done. That was easy.
Thank you. The live is over. The message has been told. Rhonda's here, says, hello, fam, and happy hump day. That's what I was looking for. I appreciate it. Yes. Blue Notes here says happy Wacko Wednesday. I love when you say the wackos. How are y'all doing?
Waka wackos. Waka waka waka. You need a Watch on Keto Pac-Man shirt that says Waka Waka Waka. with like pieces of bacon in front of him.
Yes, that he could be eating something. Yes, that would be so interesting. I have to, and so am I. So we have something Pac-Man, and I have something relevant. So.
Instead of Pac-Man, it could be your face doing the.
It could. That would be interesting.
And have like a South Park jaw.
Yeah, like we've been exactly. It's scary. Yeah. So everybody in the comments, if you have any questions about fitness. Let's just go ahead and ask it. And that's what we'll be talking about today. But in general, before we hop into it, like Coach Bronson, do your thing, introduce, yourself. Let us know a little bit about you and where we can find you and what you offer to this community.
Goodness. I wasn't prepared for that. Why is it always hard to talk about yourself?
Ain't that the truth?
I've gotten used to it. But
definitely gotten better at it. But sometimes you're like, whoa, wait, I got to talk about me. Hold on a second. I'm not ready for that.
I was going to say,
okay, so if there's anybody watching who hasn't seen me or heard my story, really quick, I'll be 50 in 2 months.
What?
I'll be 50 in 2 months. I've been carnivore for almost 4 years. I'm a fitness coach. I'm a health coach. My goal is to let people know and help people understand how to incorporate fitness in their life, because it's not something that just people who are trying to get big and strong need to do. It is something that everybody needs to do. Right. So because like you just said a second ago, right? Fitness is freedom. So your ability to do physical activity is part of how we define quality of life. So you can't have a good quality of life if you can't move your body. So that's, you can be keto long, but that doesn't mean you can do things and have fun.
Yes.
Right.
That is legit. Joe Ray's here says, good evening. Driven West said, I'm calling March, #March movement. Finally got my butt up and got my steps in, working my bones up to get some movement in. Yeah.
Go ahead, Jada.
And it can be gradual, but it just has to be done. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, you got to start somewhere. So yes. Okay. So jumping right into let's see. Here, D has a great question. Says, I'm still lost on this one-to-one business. Can you break it down to me, Coach Bronson?
Okay. So it's actually, I clarified a little bit. It's actually 1-to-1-to-1. So I clarified it by adding a 1. Okay.
I don't think adding things is what
usually it doesn't help clarify it. So it's your lean mass. Okay. So if you weigh 150 pounds, and you're 30% body fat. Okay. I'm just throwing numbers so we have easy math. If you weigh 150 pounds and you're at 30% body fat, that means 50 pounds of your total body weight is fat. And 100 pounds is not fat. That's lean mass. Okay. So you take that lean mass number, that's how many grams you eat of protein as a minimum.
Is a minimum.
And that's how many grams of fat and or carbs combined as a maximum.
Yep, I got that.
Okay. That's it. It's that simple. It's your lean mass to protein.
So where did the extra 1 come in?
Lean mass to protein to fuel.
Oh, okay, got it.
One to one.
Okay. So and basically also, if you don't have your lean mass, your body fat percentage, you kind of mentioned it something along like your goal weight.
You could use you could use your goal weight as a starting number for sure.
Yes. And so that's what I remember because I didn't have that information. But so basically I have a scale that tells me my lean mass, which I know is like 120 pounds. So I would eat a minimum of 120 grams of protein a day and a maximum of 120 grams of the combination of fat and carbs, right?
Correct.
Meaning if I want to have 10 total carbs, that means I have 110 grams of fat because those add up to the 120, which equals my protein.
You got it.
I'm a fan.
Does that answer her question? Is that a thumbs up?
Yeah, she says gotcha. Yes.
Awesome.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
Now, what are the benefits to eating this way? So.
Oh my God. Well, we'll start with the basics, right? The big three. Okay. Nutrient density. When you focus on protein, you get more nutrients, period.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you get more nutrients, by default, you get less calories.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if a lot of people understand how that works. Okay. In general, it's almost a rule. I haven't done the actual math on every item of food in the world, but in general, if you have more calories, you have less nutrients. If you have more nutrients, you have less calories.
Wow.
So if you focus on getting the highest level of nutrients in every bite you take, you are by default going to reduce the amount of fuel calories that you intake.
I agree. I mean, because you reduce the amount of fuel calories
like
that you need because your body is signaling you to eat because it needs nutrients, right? And when you are giving that the most nutrient dense food, the signals turn off a lot quicker, right? You know, I remember seeing, you know, America is the most overfed but undernourished country.
Absolutely. Yes.
You
yes,
know?
for sure.
Yeah. Let's
see. That's one. Well, there's two more. We're going to keep going before you get another question. So that's one. The second one is bioavailability. So part of that nourishment is not just making sure that you get the nutrients, but making sure that your body can actually utilize and access them.
Absorb it.
Right. So protein in general, again, these are generalities. But when I say protein, I'm saying animal meat primarily, okay, is the most bioavailable and digestible food that we can eat as human beings. Period. Okay.
You hear that?
Not plants. And by calorie, by nutrient density, whatever you can, whatever metric you want to look at, it's the most available of whatever nutrients there are. And then the third one is satiety. Like you just mentioned, when you eat more protein, you get full faster and you stay full for longer.
Exactly.
I ate a pound of chicken breast today, and I was just like, I can't do it. Oh, it's so good. But it's just, I mean, it's like a bowl. I know. It's just, it's so much. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, no, Brianna said, yay, math. Oh, exactly. I love it. I mean, it's easy to me, right? You know, protein equals fat plus carbs. That is the equation right there. That's the 1-to-1. Lisa has a question. If I need to lose a lot of weight, is cardio or strength training the best? I know the answer to this.
Both.
Yeah, I mean,
because I don't care if you lose weight.
Yeah, it's about fat.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, and
it's not even that. It's not even that. I don't care if you lose weight. I don't care if you lose fat. What I want to see is an improvement in your body's ability to function. And in order for that to happen, you need both.
You do need both, but I would say, but if you had to start with one, which one would it be? People
whichever
like
one
here.
There's either one.
Exercise.
Whichever one is going to get you moving consistently for long periods of time.
See, now that is actually true. Like, what diet is the best diet? What workout plan is the best workout plan? It's the one you'll stick to, right?
Absolutely.
And so if we tell you that weight training is the best thing to do, but you absolutely hate weight training, so you never start, then weight training is not the best thing for you to do.
100%. 100%.
Yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to say, if you have to choose one, or start with one and like equally they don't matter, I feel like weight training, resistance training is the better thing to start with because you're building your muscle mass and you're increasing your strength, which could also increase your stamina, which can make you better at those cardiac.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of reasons, right? So all things being equal, if you look at cardio versus strength training, if you could equally choose one or the other and you knew you would do both of them and there was no, like, if all those things, the lifestyle stuff and the perception, like all that stuff was out of the way. Strength training, absolutely, for 1,000,001 reasons. Okay. Number one reason being your metabolic function is driven by muscle mass. So you cannot be healthy. You cannot be healthy without muscle. I don't care what your blood work says. I don't care how much body fat you lost. You cannot be healthy if you are under muscled. Period.
I agree with that.
I agree.
You can be healthier than you may have been in the past, and progress is progress. I'm not discounting that. I don't want to make anybody feel bad, right? But to be healthy, to have a metabolism that will take care of itself, this is the key. You want your metabolism to take care of you You don't want to have to babysit your metabolism. Right.
Wow.
That's where people are at right now. Okay.
Yes.
So in order for those roles to switch, you have to have muscle.
Look at that.
I wholeheartedly agree with that. Matrea said I had class today and I did planks on top of it. My sides are already sore. Man, I remember doing ab exercises and it would be sore when I laughed. Those were the days I should try harder. But, Shoshana's here, says, hey y'all, hi Shoshana, how you doing? But yes, so seeing that we're leaning toward resistance training, like weightlifting.
Sure. Yeah.
Now, what type of weightlifting is the best? Is it like high load, low rep, or low, weight, high rep, for your specific goals?
Depends on the goal. If the goal, I'm going to make an assumption here. We're talking about the goal is to increase your functionality, right? How your body works. So it's going to be all of the above. There should be some variation. Some of the times you do things could be isolated traditional bodybuilding, just do some curls and some bench press. Some of the times you do things could be a combination of complex, multi-body, full body movements. Some things could be high intensity, some things should be low intensity. So there's a combination, and we've talked about this. There's so many different aspects to what fitness is. That if you pigeonhole yourself into one thing, you are going to miss something else. So variety isn't the spice of life. Variety helps you determine your quality of life. So you need to have a broad range of things, and don't just do one thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
To have that total package.
I love that. Holly said, good evening, everyone. Ear hustling as I get ready for work. We're glad that you're here, Holly.
Good evening, Holly.
Yeah, but I do 3 days of strength training and then 2 days of cardio.
There you go.
And that's just, and honestly, just because that's what I like to do. I just genuinely like all the movements that I'm doing. Right.
Right. And there's ways to do things. And the more this is the fascinating part about it is naturally, as we do things, we get better at them. We increase our competence. So then we naturally want to increase the challenge, increase the intensity. I want to learn how to do more. I want to learn how to do that. Oh, I didn't think I could do this, but now I can do that. It's easy. So now there's what's the next challenge? Once we start challenging ourselves and then reaching those challenges and surpassing them, we start building habits of improvement. And that's what we're looking for. So just like with what you're doing, you're lifting weights and you're doing cardio a couple of times a week. In what you're doing for lifting weights, there are ways you could switch that up and mix it up to add different variety, a different stimulus, different types of intensities. And there's so many different things you could do in what you're doing. It doesn't have to be every day I'm going to do something different. It can be a regular routine of things, but there are ways within that. For instance, the biggest thing you can do is anytime you're moving, make sure you're moving in full range of motion. Okay. And you're working on your stability while you're doing it. Right. So doing a curl when you don't go all the way down and you don't come all the way up isn't helping you.
Hello.
You're just cheating yourself.
Right. So doing a squat where you don't squat all the way down. Now, if you're working towards that full range of motion and you're not there yet, then you go to the range of motion you can get. And as it improves, you stay there
until you can do it easily in the full range of motion. Like you shouldn't even be holding any weight squatting unless you can go all the way down and all the way up.
And that's the thing. So range of motion should be goal number one for everybody.
Yes, I know that.
I don't care what weight you got. You said it perfectly. If you can't get a full squat, then you shouldn't be doing it with weight.
Yeah.
Particularly if you're doing it at home and you've got no one there to tell you how you're doing it. If you're doing it right, if you're doing it wrong, if you've never done it before, and
you're holding the weights. Exactly.
You're gonna mess something up on the other side of that.
Rhonda said, I agree with you, Coach. Tired of people downing cardio. It helps with lung capacity, especially since I quit smoking. Absolutely. Don't want COPD and cardio helps. Step and fit body tonight. Trampoline tomorrow. You and this trampoline girl. Yeah, it's do what you love. I agree.
Do what you love. Yep. And
Trey
then,
says I love kettlebells. I can never get into kettlebells.
oh, kettlebells are the best.
I can do kettlebell.
If there's one piece of workout equipment that you had to have and you couldn't have anything else, it should be a kettlebell.
See, you learn something new every day.
One that's like self-contained.
And it's, multifunctional. Multi-use.
It is the most multifunctional.
Genesis, I think I need to consult a personal trainer. I have a knee replacement and rod in my right arm from a car accident a few years back, but back there really limit me aside from walking, swimming, and hand weights.
Personal trainer sounds great.
But walking and swimming and hand weights are also very good exercises that you can do.
Trainer wouldn't definitely.
But Trey said cardio has its place. I get irritable when people say it's useless. Yeah, I feel like all that stuff's inflammatory. Like cardio is useless if you're trying to lose weight. Like that's not. So all right. Cardio is useless if you're trying to lose weight.
All
right. Well,
so here's the deal. Here's how this works. Okay, so cardio in and of itself is particularly when we talk about cardio. Let's define that. Okay, we're probably my assumption when someone says cardio, we're talking about what we call long, slow cardio. I'm going to hop on the treadmill. I'm going to walk up. I'm going to walk at an incline, or I'm going to go on elliptical for 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour, whatever, that kind of thing. I'm going to hop on a bike. Okay, we're not talking about someone who's saying I'm going to go run 26 miles. It's different.
There is a difference.
Okay, we're not talking about someone who says I'm going to hop on a bike and I'm going to do 60 miles today.
Yeah,
that's different. Okay, that's performance. That's athletics. That's a completely different discussion topic from what we're talking about. When we're talking about general health, slow cardio has a place. It is one place out of 20. Okay, so when people spend 80% of their time doing cardio, that's where the problem comes in, because there's 19 other things that they could be working, but they're spending 80% of their time doing one thing. So that's where the discussion of cardio is not helping you comes into play. The other thing about it is if you're doing cardio with the intention of losing fat, you are self-defeating yourself, because what you're doing when you do cardio is you get your body better at not burning fat. That's what cardio does, right? No, because what you're doing is you're improving your efficiency at fat burning so you can do more work with less fuel. That's what cardio does. So you're teaching your body how to not burn fat as well. And you're also reinforcing the fact that you're only going to burn fat if you're working. So the amount of time you have to spend to burn the fat increases and increases and increases. You will never get to a point where you cannot be doing cardio.
And that's what they say, that's why strength training is so important. It's because you're burning more calories at rest. Like your metabolism is rest.
Cardio is more of like a lungs, heart thing. Yeah. Strength training is like a total body.
Kathy said, hello, Whackers. Happy Wednesday and happy hump day. Just did my Bronson workout and I'm sore already. Hey, yeah. Which one? The beginners or the intermediate?
That's how it starts.
That's amazing.
And just keep at it. Sore should be a fun thing.
I
love to be that way.
Appreciate the soreness as long as it's not pain. There's a difference.
I know. I love the soreness, and I agree with you. I agree with you about like the low intensity steady state cardio, that if that's all people spend their time doing and they're just not getting the most out of it.
Are you saying like run on the treadmill for like 60 minutes?
No, like walk on the treadmill for 60 minutes at an incline, but you're holding on the whole time. Like you're when I see people holding on to the treadmill, that's my biggest pet peeve, because I'm like, all you gotta do is do this, and it drastically changes the intensity of what you're doing. But like just holding on, like bracing your body weight, like you're just not doing yourself any justice. Like,
it's like
cardio, excessive cardio is the epitome of what I said earlier about babysitting your body. If you're not there, your body is not going to do anything. You're like that teacher in the class at detention where the teacher's got to stay in the room in order for the kids to get their work done.
Yeah.
Right. That's what cardio is. You have to be there. Otherwise, nothing's going to happen.
You have to actively be present in order for your body to be working, where the goal is your body's working for you when you're not even thinking about it.
And that's where building muscle, comes into play.
Wasted hour.
Yes. No, that absolutely makes sense. So, I mean, like I feel like cardio is for enjoyment. Like it's for stamina, it's for feeling good, it's for the endorphins, but it's not like I'm trying to lose fat what should I focus on? And I feel like it's building muscle.
Cardio's place, and we'll talk about the one place, and this is another. We'll see the difference in why cardio isn't helpful the way most people do it. Okay, cardio's, if you're doing it for functional, if you're doing it for improving function, if you're doing it for improving your quality of life, is about improving, again, your body's efficiency at burning fat, okay, and your body's efficiency at processing oxygen, because part of that process is oxygen and fat. It's the oxidative pathway to create energy. So you need ketones and you need oxygen. So it's improving your heart and your lungs and your body's ability to burn fat. So that is a metabolic pathway for fuel access and energy generation. If you were trying to do cardio to make that piece of your life better, then cardio 2, 3, 4 days a week can be fine, because you're doing it with a purpose that affects your quality of life.
Perfect.
Okay. If you're doing cardio to lose fat, you're wasting your time.
So what kind of cardio helps you burn fat better? Like, what would you recommend doing?
It's like a blend.
Anything and everything. Your heart rate is part of it. The amount of muscles that you're using is part of it. The best cardio, 110%, the best cardio is going to be some form of high intensity interval training.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Right.
That's what I've been focusing on doing that more this week. Like, because I'm one of those, I'll just sit on this bike for 60 minutes and barely pedal, but at least I'm pedaling. But I have really focused on like, okay, for the next
what's the difference?
20 minutes, I'm going to do minute intervals where I turn up the resistance all the way and I pump really hard.
Pump it, right.
Okay.
Yeah. Because here's the deal. It's, if you ever have a balloon, you ever get a balloon, right?
Yes.
Okay. You blow it up. If you don't do anything to it, you take it out of the bag, you blow it up really hard, really fast, and it pops.
Yes.
If you take that same balloon and you blow it up slow, you stretch it out, you blow it up slow, you stretch it out, right? Then eventually it's going to get bigger, right? That's what high intensity interval training is. High intensity interval training is small bursts of energy. It helps expand your capacity for work. Okay.
Wow.
What happens is the bigger that balloon can get, okay, when you start doing cardio or endurance work, that's letting the air out slow. So you have way more stuff there to last way longer. So if you are, that's why a lot of endurance athletes, I work with hundreds of endurance athletes who come in, I don't have them run for 6 months. We just work on functionality. We just work on movement. We just work on range of motion, mobility, and strength, and all the things that they've missed in all the years that they've been running. And then they go for a run after 6 months and they beat their time by 20 minutes.
Wow, that's crazy.
And they're like, what in the world? Right? Well, I don't understand. We haven't run in 6 months. I'm like, I know, but you fixed a bunch of other things. Yeah. And now your body's working better.
Oh, yeah. All those little muscle fibers and get stronger.
It's crazy.
Rhonda said, I like both now, cardio and strength training. That's how I am. I used to dread strength training, but I like both now.
I'm actually curious on who actually started off doing cardio and then are slowly getting to strength training now. Because a lot of people that I know normally don't start on strength. They start in the cardio world.
Well, but see, depending on where you're coming from, because everyone in my world's been trying to lose weight. And for the longest time, we've just been told burn, move more, eat less, burn, not realizing that, muscle is how you actually burn fat. But Trey says, on any exercise, form matters so you don't hurt yourself. This includes leaning on the treadmill, casually reading or watching TV, so only your legs are moving. Exactly. It's not okay. Rhonda said exactly. Hit on the elliptical, and breathing is very important.
You're just cheating yourself.
Kathy P said, I'm in the early stages of the InBody challenge, but I'll be doing the functional fitness program. Oh yeah, body composition goals. Yes. But yeah, I actually went down. So another thing that's been important to me this year, not only is like full range of motion, but also like muscle isolation. Like I want to be squeezing the muscles that I'm supposed to be squeezing to get the most out of this exercise. And a lot of the time I just found myself, like if you're trying to hoist up a dumbbell that's too big, you're using your shoulder, you're using your rotator. Like, no, I only want to use this muscle. So maybe I have to take the weight down so that I can focus on what it feels like to squeeze this muscle. And that's what I had to do this past week. I went down a few pounds on my back rows so that I could like squeeze like all of my back as I was doing it. So.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. The mind, it's called the mind muscle connection.
It is the mind muscle connection, and that is real, right? And that's important because I also feel like that's another element. Like you're not getting the most out of your strength training if you're not focusing on the muscles that you're building as you're doing it.
Well, it's kind of like the person holding the bar. Like if you've been doing this for 6 months, what are you doing? Like it's time to upgrade. Let go. Like you got to keep pushing yourself.
A lot of people just don't know. A lot of people think that if they just do this thing.
No, exactly. But you're wasting
every week. But see, that's the problem. Time. They do it for so long and they're not getting the results they expect, but because they're not doing it the best, the most efficient way they could.
I say because you're wasting your time. Why you have better things to do than this?
I agree.
Like whoever's like, you have to keep progressing and pushing yourself.
Zebby says, I swam for the U.S. team as a team. What? And we trained a lot on ergometers, rowing machines, ergometers. And really benefited from the dual resistance and cardio workout. Yeah, cool. See, that's amazing.
Those are interesting. I could do those.
Rhonda says, me, Richard, hubby, strength trains and have most of his life. He started training me lately. He works out of state, but sends me videos and workout. Oh yeah, nice. I mean, yeah, I think that's.
That's the curious thing. I think most people start off in the cardio world because like everybody can run.
Particularly women. A lot of women start off in cardio. A lot of women don't venture into where the weights are at.
Because they think you're getting bulky, you don't want to turn into She-Hulk or something.
They don't want to get bulky. There's so many different reasons why.
Well, I know.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of women start off with cardio or the aerobics classes or the step classes or even the spin classes, things like that. And then at some point, they hopefully they realize, hey, wait a second, I'm missing something. I'm doing the same stuff.
Like I feel like hopefully at some point they stumble across the message that like you've got to strength train, you've got to do strength training. Now I have a question: is it possible to build like significant amounts of lean mass, and so significant asterisk, whatever that means, while eating in a deficit? Like because if your goal is to, do body recomp, you want to be losing fat. So that comes at like kind of eating at a deficit or eating, in a way where your body's accessing its stored fat. But you're also trying to put on muscle. So you're not necessarily giving your body like the surplus fuel that they could then be using to build that muscle with. You get it?
So your body doesn't build muscle with fuel.
Continue.
Your body builds muscle with protein. Protein is not fuel.
Protein is not fuel. I do know that. Fuel.
So when we talk about eating in a deficit, so this goes back to what we said at the beginning. When you focus on protein, when protein is the priority of what you're doing, you're automatically dropping your calories. Okay. 99% of the people I've ever worked with who do one-to-one, when they first look at those numbers, they look at the calories and they're like, but these calories are so low. How am I ever going to survive? Yeah. Because you're getting more protein than you've ever gotten before, number one. Number two, you're never going to get more fat and more fuel than you need. Right? So because they're two different things. So focusing on the protein by default for 99% of the people means that in general, you're going to get less calories than you're used to getting. Okay. But at the same time, you're also getting more building blocks for what your body needs to grow and fix metabolic function. So you're going to gain, and it's very possible that you may even gain weight while you're losing fat.
Yeah, I have seen that as well. Right? I've seen that in my body. Yes,
absolutely. It's absolutely possible. And it's common. It's actually becoming more and more common for people to start realizing, hey, wait a second, I don't have to starve to lose fat, and I can still improve my metabolism and my strength and my quality of life at the same time. Like it doesn't have to.
And I don't have to run a zillion miles a day and kill myself in the gym.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Think about that. If you were just, if you just wanted to make one switch, if you're a cardio junkie, just make one switch. Stop doing cardio. Work out 3 days a week with weights and watch what happens.
Yeah.
Right. You just saved yourself 4 to 5 hours a week doing a workout. So now you have 4 or 5 hours to go on a hike, go do something with your family, do whatever. You work out hard. Right. Which is you work out hard 3 days a week for an hour, hour and a half max, and watch how your life completely changes.
I love that.
Challenge
accepted. Don't forget, guys, if you have any general fitness questions, put them in the comments. It's a fitness Q&A with Coach Bronson. I just want to say, one thing I remember at Keto Palooza, I was just like, I want to get better at doing lunges. How do I do that? And you were just like, do lunges. And I was like, well, that's dumb, but I have found that I look forward to the challenge of like doing a lunge. Okay, now I have a question, and don't let the answer be like whatever feels best, but when you're lunging, see, that was my problem with the lunge. I never knew where I was supposed to be focusing my energy, or like what muscles was I supposed to be using. Like if I step forward with my left foot, am I pushing off of that foot to push myself back? Like, is that where the strength is? Okay, because I would I could squeeze with my right to like retract, and I'm just like,
you're doing
what
both.
am I supposed to be using?
You're doing both.
Yes.
You're doing both.
Yes, that's what I do.
In general, the primary mover, which is the direction of movement.
Okay.
So if you're moving forward, then your foot that's going forward is going to be the focus. You're still going to use the foot in the back.
That's the bearer of the weight.
Because that's stability and things like that, and help with direction.
And to this day, I still can't push myself all the way up, like in one step motion. Like I push myself up, and then I kind of step halfway back, and then I step all the way.
Baby.
Yeah, like a little skip, and then I step all the way. Like, but boy, when I be watching people online, they're just like step, come up, step, push up, and I was just like, how are they doing that? They must be short.
Just keep doing it.
They must be short because their step outs can't go.
You need to get up, wake up every morning, and do 10 lunges on each leg.
Oh my gosh!
And do it without weight.
Just 10, and with your hand. Without your hands on your legs.
Okay, so I was going to ask, like hands on your hips or like hands down to your side?
Just hanging loose, whatever.
Once you feel better.
Rhonda said, Autumn, the muscles in my arms are really beginning to form, and I'm loving it. Yeah, there you
go, Rhonda.
Awesome.
Phase 1.
Yeah, I need to.
There's two shapes. Women, a lot of times you hear the word tone, right? I want to shape my body. I want to look fit. You can't look it if you're not it.
Oh, preach.
Wow.
You can't look fit if you're not
that's
fit.
Facts.
And fitness is muscle, right? Muscle is what gives you shape. You got two shapes. You got the shape without muscle, and you got the shape with muscle.
Yes. Yeah, that's what skinny fat is. That's just like, you might not weigh a lot, you might not have a lot of fat, but at the same time, you're just like things are still droopy and things are still things are still.
You can be underweight and have type 2 diabetes.
Yeah.
Yikes. Wow.
Seriously, think about that. You can be you can be a size 2 and have diabetes.
That's period, point blank.
If your metabolism isn't functioning properly, like if your blood sugar and your insulin resistance,
here's the thing, and this is diabetes is not a disease of weight. It is a disease of being under muscled. When you don't have enough muscle, your metabolism isn't functioning properly. Okay, so you're not processing, you're not doing the things that it needs to do. You're not doing. If you're eating poorly, you're also not helping the process in general.
Exactly.
Okay? So you're unhealthy. That's where diabetes comes from. It's not. You're not. Fat is. Yeah. It's the muscle. You need muscle.
You need muscle, and you also need to not eat food that's going to spike your blood sugar.
Right. That's a whole. That's a whole.
I used to walk with stability for a long time on lunges until I could do it without holding anything. Like, are you talking about like standing beside the wall?
It's just to hold support, so you don't put all that stress on your back leg.
Interesting. I'm going to try that. Lunges are
just
the thing.
turn your body the other side.
Yes. Or you could get a chair next to you or something like that.
That makes sense.
Or just make Richard stand next to you.
But it's not even that I wobble side to side anymore, which is what I used to do. So I definitely have built up strength. It's just like I want to get it to be one movement where I can step back. So you
got it. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing it.
Yes. So Maitreya said, "My goodness, I really enjoy you all, but I can't stay up any longer. Good night. Good night, Maitreya. So don't get me wrong. Like it's my
Good
bedtime.
night,
Lisa said I can't do lunges unless I stretch and mobilize beforehand. Yeah. Stretch like lunges are. Those are the ones that I'm just like.
Well, I was just gonna say. I mean,
but I look forward to it. I look forward to the challenge.
I mean, bad knees are a thing that most people deal with as we age. So it's the process of we got to keep at it. We got to keep at it.
But strength and flexibility. Yeah, and that goes into range of motion.
Exactly. Most people have bad joints because they're not using them.
If you don't use it, you lose it.
Yep. No, it's so true. It's like, but you got to.
If I could even get people to understand how many things in your life having muscle fixes, like the list is endless. From a metabolic standpoint, from a quality of life standpoint, from an aches and pains standpoint, from an injury prevention standpoint, like there's so many things that if you can grow muscle, your life will just completely turn around.
Only you can put that in a pill.
Yeah, right.
I know, but that's why we got to keep spreading the message. Like that's why we have to keep having these conversations. That's why we have to keep. If people see it enough somewhere, they're just like, I don't believe it, but I keep seeing it everywhere. But keep saying it if it wasn't true. Like that's honestly how I had to. That's honestly how I had to come to a couple of
fix, but it's the best.
I came to a couple of conclusions. Like if they just keep saying it. So like maybe I'll give it a try.
Stay with it.
Yes. Right. Well, okay, Coach Bronson. Right. So I have to go to sleep because I got to wake up tomorrow and do my weightlifting workout. And I'm probably just going to add lunges on top of that because sometimes I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I'll be looking at my workout and I'm just like, ooh, it didn't say lunges today. Yes, but like I need to I need to chase the lunge. Yeah, I need to chase the lunge.
You're just cheating yourself. At the end of the day, you ducking exercises and you trying to make exercises easier.
Yes.
It's eventually you got to come back to it. You have to come back to it. Yes. So why at least 2 years to just do it 6 months the proper way?
No, I agree. So this would be a great way to close. Rhonda said, so Coach Bronson, you have programs that a person can follow. I already have classes 4 days a week. I mean, Rhonda.
4 classes a week. Rhonda, okay. Yes, so I do, but Rhonda, if you're going to do them, you probably need to cut back on the classes because these are classes. You don't want to be doing 9 days a week.
Rhonda might have the plate a little too full. Yeah, Rhonda got a full plate.
But no, I do. If you want to go to my website, it's the Apex.
Click the link in the description.
Click the link at the bottom, APXTS or the ApexTrainingSystem.com. I've got a program. I've got a couple programs. There's 6 month subscriptions. You sign up for 6 months. Do it. Think of it as a 6 month challenge. I'm going to do this for 6 months and see what happens.
Exactly.
I have a feeling you'll like it.
You'll be amazed
if you actually do it, because I'm saying there ain't nothing like seeing like shadows of your muscles come in.
I truly understand. I used to be super bones.
Ain't nothing like it.
I used to be super frail. Trust me. As soon as you see that first,
Rhonda said, I do want to check it out. You click the link in the description of this video. Both of his programs are there, or you can go to the website to see more about the different offerings.
But I have
the link. Yeah, I have the links to the programs in the description.
Yeah, and Facebook group. I have a Facebook group. So Apex Health and Fitness, Keto Carnivore. Go there. It's the only functional, quality of life, fitness focused keto carnivore group out there that I know of.
I love that.
I love that as well.
It's about improving your quality of life. It's not about bodybuilding. It's not about powerlifting. It's not about athletics. It's not about getting a six pack. You're never going to hear anybody in there talk about getting shredded. Right. It's about what can I do to enjoy my life better?
Exactly. It's like, how can I be 40, 50, 60?
And I love, and don't get me wrong. Look, I do recognize that what you eat has a vast majority of like, directly correlated to your health. But I do like the focus on but you also need to be physically fit, and it's just like, I think that's the problem. People don't address their diet and they try to go straight to exercise. And that approach will never work.
Or
right?
The other way.
Trying to
go exercise and don't address their diet.
Yeah. Is that not what I just said? Either way.
No, either way. Either way. You can't.
I said either way you approach it is wrong.
Well, but no, they think I can just eat whatever I want, but as long as I work it off, it'll, it's exercise first and they don't address their diet. That's never going to work. But once you have addressed your diet, then there comes a time where you've got to focus on your fitness, right? And a lot of people, that's the thing about keto that seems really appealing to a lot of people. It's like, I lost 100 pounds and I never exercised once. It's like, yeah, you can drastically change your diet and remove all the processed stuff out of your diet. And you could lose 100 pounds of fat and it would make a significant improvement to your health. Sure. But at a certain point, you've got to focus on fitness, like building muscle, right? Increasing your quality of life.
Yeah, you can improve the performance of a race car by giving it better gas, but if you never change the tires, it ain't going anywhere.
Man, see, I love it. I love that. And that is just,
right.
And I feel like sometimes people demonize exercising because like, no, your diet's the most important. It's like, yeah, but once we know that, like once we got that out of the way, then exercising is very important.
And it depends on where people are coming. Like we talked earlier about, people starting with cardio, then getting into strength training. I personally started with the fitness side before I got into the nutrition side. So I got my fitness routine down. And I ran into the exact same thing that people run into when they do nutrition first, is they get to a point and then things just stop.
Yeah.
I'm not getting, like, I feel like I'm doing all this stuff. It's not taking me where I want to go. And then I had to add the nutrition thing. So if you start with nutrition, you got to eventually, if you want to get where you really want to go, you're going to have to do fitness.
Yes, exactly.
You're going to have to do nutrition. They have to be, it's 50-50. Just because you start with one versus the other doesn't mean the other one's any less important.
Exactly. You're going to have to come to it eventually. So why not start now?
Or you got to focus on it.
Right.
Yeah. So, okay. All right. Well, thanks so much for joining us and the happy March. Right? This year's just speeding on by.
We got a cruise in a month.
Oh my gosh, a couple of months. Yes.
A couple months. Oh wait, you guys going to Utah? I'm thinking of
no, yeah. So we have that is in a month. Gosh, yeah. We're gonna be at Salt Lake and then we're going on the cruise.
And then we're going on the cruise. Yep.
Yeah, once Salt Lake pretty much kicks off the season. Like once that happens,
the inaugural
it's just everything. The
yeah, because we're looking at our schedule. We've got something April, May, June, July.
Yeah.
And I think August and September, like we got something like,
and then Vegas is in October. I'm just like,
right.
No, yeah.
I forgot about Vegas. Oh my God.
I know. I haven't. My mom said, "Have you heard anything about Vegas?" I was like, "No," but like, I'm not even worried. Like, there's so much.
I'm afraid to put time in. I'm afraid to put my PTO. I'm afraid to put my PTO request in at work. Be like, for the next 6 months, I have to take a week off every month. Like,
I've literally used up all of my PTO.
Yeah,
I was just like,
we gotta find some extra somewhere. It's under the couch.
Well, the funny thing is, I've been playing fast and loose with these floating holidays. Like, I'm just like,
right? Yeah.
I'm gonna take this.
I'm working as much as I can.
That happens to coincide. I'm not this religion, but I think this actually falls on the day that I need to go to this conference. So yeah, it's absolutely crazy. So yeah, you can catch us, on the internet. You can catch us in real life starting next month. But thank you so much for joining us, Coach Bronson, and we'll see you next month on Whack Wednesday.
Yes.
Later, guys.
Bye.